The FIFA awards are happening right now, Will.
There's so many awards.
But breaking news in the past.
Yeah. How many teams of the year do we need?
This used to be Ballon d'Or season. But I think even earlier than this. I think
Now there's 2 Ballon d'Ors though.
January, February used to be the Ballon d'Or, wasn't it?
I think so, but now they do it end of season. Is that correct?
Now it's end of season for the Ballon d'Or. But this is the FIFA said, well, fine, we'll change it, but we'll keep something else called the not Ballon d'Or.
You can take the Ballon d'Or away. You're not taking the FIFA Pro team.
I think that's what it is. I'm following here live on Eurosport.
Oh, huge breaking news.
1820, Lionesses in the house.
Ooh.
Lucy Bronze and Beth Mead are ready and waiting in Paris. A reminder that the ceremony gets started at 8 p.m. GMT. It's Greenwich Mean Time for all you laymen out there.
Yeah, it's very late. Do these players not have games over the next 2 days?
Yeah, I mean, it's 20 to 7 now, so it's an hour from now. I mean, it's in Paris. You come back from a award ceremony in England. You're an hour ahead.
There's definitely Champions League tomorrow.
Arsenal playing Wednesday. Liverpool playing Thursday, I think.
Yeah.
You know, I don't think there's any Champions League this week, but yeah, no, I mean, a lot of people don't turn up this. They kind of, oh, this is literally not worth my time. But
that's going to be us once we start getting invited to all the podcast awards.
Yeah.
Oh, it's too many. We can't come to them all.
We'll come to the big one. You know?
Yeah.
Which is, I don't know, the Oscars?
The Grammys.
The Grammys, I guess. Yeah.
Oh, we'll go to the Grammys, I suppose.
Hottest new podcast of the year. Awesome.
Will I Am presented us with football comedy podcast of the year.
That'd be good. I could see you doing like a joke about your name being like his name, and then they just like falling flat, and then the music has named.
Yeah. And now Pitbull.
No, honestly, that is nonsense. Nonsense. All nonsense.
They say many garbage things.
You don't know what you're going to get.
Melodrama upon melodrama. This is a utter shameful, disgraceful piece of nonsense.
He was miles off it yesterday.
You'll learn a lot more if you listen rather than talk all the
Plenty of
time.
time, no problem.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to a No Nonsense podcast with Cathal and Will. Back again, another week football.
Yeah.
Never stops.
Never
stops.
Onward and onward.
But first, Will, I have a bone to pick.
Oh.
Yeah.
Not off the air, on the air.
No, I didn't say anything off the air.
Yeah.
I want to lull you into false sense of security. Because I've been coming here last 3 weeks now.
Mm-hmm.
And not once have you said, hey, big guy, looking good. Your smile would light up the room.
Hey, they got the braces off.
I got the braces off.
I did. I noticed that, but I didn't want to say in case. Did he get those off ages ago and I didn't know?
Well, it's, if you want to hurt me, brother, you got me.
Yeah.
You really did.
Well, I tell you one thing. The exact same happened when I got mine off. I was like, here we go. Everyone I talk to is going to be amazed.
Yeah.
Nothing.
In defense of that, you had yours on for what? 3-6 hours and you get them off again?
A year.
Wait,
a masked year.
Was it a year?
Yeah, I had a full year. But we were wearing masks the whole time.
Because we got ours on the same time and I remember yours being off. I was like, why? How are yours off?
Yeah, I only had the top ones.
And I suppose I had the top and the bottom.
Yeah, they said they had to give me pretty much reconstructive jaw surgery if I wanted the bottom ones. I was like, I'll pass.
Well, that's happened to me. I mean, I fucking, during the first bit of lockdown, I just like drank and ate and I didn't brush my teeth. All going to die anyways. Who cares? And I went in the dentist, like, my tooth's bit sore. Like, you have a massive cavity in your tooth. And then, like, I think it's because of the overcrowding that your tooth, you can't get to clean it. I was like, yeah, that must be it.
It must be that, yeah.
And she said, right, you can get a root canal for like 600 quid. Or I could recommend you to a dentist, or an orthodontist, I should say, pull the tooth and then, again, reconstruct it to close the gap and get braces. It's like, your teeth are pretty bad anyway, so
I would say the orthodontist.
You can pay €600 to have ugly teeth, or you could pay a bit more over a monthly period to get perfect teeth. So yeah, that's what I went with in the end. And again, for half it was a mask this year, so I was like, yeah, grand.
Who cares?
But yeah, I worry about your attention to detail, Will. Like, I've been coming here every week for 2 years with scaffolding my face, and I come and I've been happy. I've been smiling every week about Arsenal, and you haven't said a word.
I did notice them, but again, I was just like, oh, if I say like, oh, you got your braces off, you're like, I got them off a year ago, idiot. I'd look like a fool, so I just didn't say anything.
Yeah. No, it's one of those things. You lose touch with people. I haven't seen loads of people who who would have known me before the braces. But
Yeah.
there's people who I work with who've never seen me without them.
Yeah.
Like, wow, you look amazing. What were we thinking before, you know? But yeah, no, that wasn't really a bone to pick, just something that was bothering me for months. No, it was a big week in the football year, Will, because it's the biggest competition, I think, in the world.
Yes.
If I was to judge by social media and media coverage, the Carabao Cup.
Closely followed by the Europa League.
Yeah.
The two biggest tournaments in football right now.
That's strange. I mean, they said it wouldn't work, these lower league competitions, but that we really have, made it a level playing field for all.
Imagine being one of the clubs who haven't spent £1 billion on their squad trying to compete for those trophies.
Yeah.
You would be fuming.
Imagine being Swansea when they won the Carabao Cup and no one cared.
Yeah, boring.
Oh, wow. Well, you beat Bradford in the final. Amazing, Yeah. Grow up. Pick up some your own size. No, I mean, it was crazy. I saw the kind of Man United effect in full effect this week.
More so because it's a long time since we've seen full whack Man United.
Yeah.
Even when Jose was winning the Europa League and stuff, it was like, this isn't going to last. This is trouble.
Well, it was crazy because that was, 2017?
Yeah, 17.
Which was only 4 years removed from the league win.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, okay, right, this is not the league.
Here we go.
Okay, maybe a stepping stone. I'll give you that. Maybe to get back to win the league, but this is not. We're not going to celebrate this like we're some kind of small club.
Yeah.
Well, now, I mean, you fast forward 6 years. 6 years. Seems pretty good to me. Yeah,
Huge.
I'll drink to that. And equally, I think when they won the FA Cup, it was even earlier than that. It was 15, 16.
That was the year before, I think. Because
Yeah.
that was Van Gaal's last game.
He got sacked.
Because they were like, and even
Not good
then,
enough.
all the United fans were like, oh, that was unreal. Get Jose in. Let's turn this into a proper team now.
Yeah, he walked the steps. He got sacked because that was only 3 years removed from the league win.
Which seems insane because at the time that felt like 10 years from the league win.
That's why, because the standards expectations are so high. It's like, this is so below us. And now you fast forward to Ten Hag and we're like, look at him dancing. Look at him dance. Wow.
He's having fun at Man United. We haven't seen it in years.
Get you a manager who can do both, you were saying. It was really bad. Online it was crazy. I saw a post from I think it was goal.com. Like a reputable enough, not like a Man United Pro, like some of the other ones you might say, like an actual covers lots of stuff. And it was like they had a post that was like from a Twitter NBC, like like United Trey kind of. He was like, Ten Hag wins his first trophy. United women team on top of the Women's Super League. United are thriving. And then a fire emoji. And I was like, this is insane.
Yeah, it is.
No one should be getting away with this. I can't believe they post this. And then, of course, the thing is, you'll rile up people like me, and then people who are more unhinged than me, they're like, oh, you're a fucking small club.
Yeah.
But all Man fans like it. Go, yeah, we are thriving.
Hell yeah.
Engagement.
It's all that
Leave
matters.
the bad comments.
It's because obviously Liverpool had it big where they were doing well over the last few years, but it wasn't because they kept getting pipped by City.
Yeah.
But they did go big on social media, all the TikTok guys that popped up and stuff.
Oh, God, yeah.
So it's interesting now seeing because again, City were dominating the whole social media period while they had probably the smallest fan base.
Yeah.
So now it's going to be overwhelming when United win things, Arsenal win things.
Yeah. Well,
It's going to be no escape.
You can see all that, if only we could win something and we could post about it. We get so much engagement, man. Engagement be off the charts.
And all you do is repost the stuff that they posted. Now you're losing.
But then I saw one that was, I think, possibly, somebody fishing. I was on one of those pages. I think it was, I don't want to say exactly, but it was one of those sports pages, not Joe.e, but, something like that.
Yeah.
A copy of Joe.e.
Yes.
Which does tend to be, if it was Liverpool fans who are winning or Man United fans who are winning, they lean towards the one. But this one was just misinformation. The top comment was, every report is misinformation. Which I'm sure it's probably deleted now if the social media
I'd be hiding that.
But it was like years since major trophy won. United 0, City 1. Chelsea. I was like, the years isn't over. You can't. That's just factually incorrect. You can't say, yeah, it's been years since City won, and then no years since Man United won one. It's like, well, that's not. It's the same year. They could literally win the league and Champions League this year. And they already counted it's been a year since they won anything. Not for us. We won today.
We won one lately.
Also calling it a major trophy. If it was someone else, Man United would have gone, well, come back, we won the league, pal, 20 times.
Remember Liverpool had the bus tour last year with the FA Cup and League Cup.
Laughed at them.
And everyone was like, that's insane. Easily see United bus tour if they win the FA Cup as well.
if they win just the Carabao Cup, there'll be a tour.
Yeah.
But this is the thing. It's like it's this is what football is really amongst the fans. It's like, I need to tell someone else their club is shit.
Yes.
Be it that their trophy is a tin pot trophy, that their league is a farmers league.
Yeah.
That they were lucky. And then when you win something, it's like, well, we won this. What you win?
Yeah.
So when you have a massive fan base like Liverpool and Man United, who are both kind of not doing as well as they would
Should
like
be,
to be doing, the bar
yeah.
gets so much lower. Whereas like last year, it was like, 2 cups, yeah, nothing. Because again, you're able to rub the fact they lost Champions League final.
Yeah, they're on for the quadruple.
Yeah, and you fell short in the league. Whereas now it's like, well, this might be the only thing we win. And Liverpool won't win anything else, so
Yeah.
we're safe to celebrate this one.
Hey!
Whereas if Liverpool were like in the Champions League,
Oh, yeah, it'd be-
and close, you'd be saying, "No, Carabao Cup, stepping stone." Stepping stone.
Yeah.
Every calm down.
Yeah.
But
everything
the
I've
safety of like they're not going anything.
and everything I'm seeing is like, this is like the beginning. Here
Yeah.
we go.
Yeah.
Leagues, Champions Leagues. I saw, did you see the clip of Ten Hag after in the press conference where he got up to leave and he forgot the trophy and all the posts about it, like, he's already on to the next one.
Oh yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah.
It is because I think it's Man United Liverpool fan base. That's the big one. Because even if Arsenal, we'll see if they win the league. If they did, it wouldn't mean as much as Liverpool win the league to Man United fans.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, yeah, well, you can have this one. We'll be back.
Yeah.
You give us the next 5 years.
Yeah, I'm sure Spurs fans would be annoyed. But
Yeah,
they're
but-
not really the most dominant group online.
But as long as they can hold on to some kind of win like the Carabao Cup, it's all rosy for them. Plus, Liverpool not winning anything. You can't say work because what you win.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's
Are
again,
you not intent?
this is what the Saudis are trying to take from us.
Yeah.
This kind of bitter hatred. Why would they do that?
Well, I did see a lot of stuff. It's come out now that the Glazers are starting to change their mind about selling the club
Yeah. Oh yeah.
because they have success now. And they're like, so we can win and put no money in. Interesting.
A potent combination.
Yeah. So, but like, it's so, because I was thinking that's a bit mad. That,
Yeah.
like, this is what you could have been doing all along if you got the right people in. But also, they've done it now. If they don't sell and they're successful, as soon as the wheels fall off, then you can sell it.
Yeah.
Why would you leave?
Well, that's what we're saying. It's good to sell on the up.
Yeah, exactly.
Like you get after this one, especially now, you got Ten Hag dancing with the boys.
Yeah.
That's when you sell. You get the most money first.
Yeah,
this is the
100%.
time to sell. People, I'm going to buy in on the up.
Yeah.
You win the Carabao Cup. That's good. Next year, you get say the FA Cup, or you get to say semi-finals Champions League. It's like, okay, yeah, you're getting there now, and
Yeah.
I don't know. It's hard to know it's hard to say what they'll definitely win, but say there was another season of they do better in every competition but don't win anything.
Yeah.
It's still good, but
Yeah.
no wins. And then next year it's slightly the same, maybe.
Yeah.
And then I
Oh,
think,
now we need to refresh the team.
yeah, Bruno Hernandez looks like he's going to go to Barcelona on free now, or whatever. It is. There's always something else that happens. This is the time. Everything's great now.
Yeah.
It never will be great forever.
Yeah.
So yeah, they might think we'll hold on to us, but then in a year's time they might want to sell again, and they'll get 3 billion less than they would have.
Yeah.
So I don't know. We'll see how they
Plays out.
how they pans out. But if I was them and I was going to sell in the future, I'd sell now because
Yeah.
you're never going to get better than this.
And it's again, I do struggle to understand I know I could get 5 billion, but what if I got 6? 5 billion is more money than you can ever do anything with in your life.
This is high level stuff. Will I wouldn't dare to comment on the difference
This is
between 6 and
beyond
5
me.
billion, but it must mean something because
Yeah.
it does matter. It's like same as footballers again on a much smaller scale. Say they're making 200 grand a week or whatever, and they're overpaid on their contract, not paying well, and their coach on let them go, and they won't go somewhere for less. It's 150 grand a week.
Yeah.
Do you know how much money that is? But once you're used to a certain lifestyle, you don't go down, you don't go back. You keep pushing forward. You get the same amount as much as you can, and then you retire basically.
It's all relative, sure, as well.
Yeah.
Where as you get richer, you buy more expensive things, and then your bills are more expensive. So you're like, fuck, I'm going to be broke if I can't pay that.
Yeah, and then you don't want to be in a situation where the lads are like, "Hey, we're going skiing. Do you want to come?"
I can't.
Don't think so, man. I took a big hit in my wages, 50k a week actually, and it's really
Yeah,
starting
that's
to
about
show.
the cost of this ski holiday.
Yeah, and my hospital bills, no doubt. So I don't know. It's high level stuff, but I think if they were going to sell, it's time to do it because you have teams like Newcastle.
Hmm.
How did you feel about the So the underdog story of Newcastle.
I know we've really praised them for their transfer activity, signing Dan Burn especially.
We love Dan Burn.
But when I saw Dan Burn playing left wing for the entire second half, I thought they probably should have got more players in.
Yeah.
Because St. Maximin got, when Wan-Bissaka came on, put the clamps on him.
Mm.
And then Dan Burn took over, and it's like, they don't really have the depth. Everyone they took off, they brought on like a youth player, like a Newcastle Academy player. So they're still a few steps off.
Except for Isaac, there's 70 million signing on the
Except
bench.
for Isaac,
which,
yeah.
It's always tough when you have someone like Cam Wilson for the money. But like a proven striker.
Yeah.
And then you think, oh, well, this guy's available for 70 million. We should buy him. Well, he's injured now. And
Yeah.
did he drop Cam Wilson?
Yeah, Carabao won't like that.
The first final in 6-8 years? Or did he go with the big money signing who probably would have started ahead of Van Veghorst.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, it's a tough one. And then you bring him on and like, oh, the game's already gone. We're 2-0 down. We're not going to win this one. I mean, a lot of times when Newcastle play this season, I've seen them. Obviously, the famous one is the one against Arsenal where the ball wasn't
Where they
played
stopped
for
playing,
44 minutes. Like that's their their
Yeah.
shtick, you know. They got a real kind of a feisty one a few times with Chelsea. Definitely got in.
There was in the build-up, Ten Hag was saying they're the most annoying team in the league to play.
Yeah.
And Trippier did an interview where he said he loves the dark arts, and it's like,
Yeah.
don't say that before the game.
They all talk about it. Eddie Howe talks about it. Like,
But
it's-
I don't know why you do that going into a final, because surely the ref's going to be like, you're saying you love cheating.
yeah,
You're going into a game going, I can't wait to cheat.
yeah. No one really appreciates the dark arts unless it's your team.
Yeah.
You know? Like a neutral doesn't appreciate the dark arts unless you hate that team.
Yeah,
You know, so like it wasn't the best strategy, but it doesn't really work if you go down in the 33rd minute.
They went down early enough.
And then the 5 minutes after that, this conceded the game. Like, well, you know,
You can't waste time now, boys.
your time you're wasting. It's your own time you're wasting, lads.
What did you make of? Did you watch that on Sky?
Yes.
What did you make of Gary Neville eagerly trying to pin everything on Loris Karius?
Yeah.
What the fuck was that about?
and Carragher as well.
He had a totally grand game.
The goal, like the own goal, like I know he contoured his body.
He deflected though.
It was not him, not
no.
him, but it was just like Carragher again, airing his personal biases because of the Champions League final 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Like, oh, he's done it again. You know, what the fuck he said, I don't know. But like, yeah, the both of them were like that was the narrative. You
Yeah.
know? That was the narrative they want to fucking put out beforehand. Carragher's messed up again, but like,
Yeah. He was totally grand.
No.
He had a pretty good game, I thought. Like he saved a few, didn't make any
a few.
mistakes.
Do you know how many saves he made? According to the stats,
So many.
8.
Yeah, that's a lot.
That's a fucking good fancy week. You
From
got
a-
a keeper.
Goal scoring Man United.
And that one in the end where they, they're waving all the flags.
yeah.
And then, of course, Bruno's like, fuck this. And we went to score a goal. That was a good save.
Yeah.
That could have been awful. You know,
Yeah.
as they're trying to do the Euro 2012, the Irish fans like singing against the hammerings.
Goal! It's 3-0 now.
Yeah, that would have been really a good punch. But yeah, Carragher's a good game. He had a good game.
I thought Newcastle, especially in the first half, were good.
Yeah.
United defended really well in the second half. They just shut it down. Wasn't the most entertaining half of football I've ever seen.
Finals rarely are, though.
Yeah.
Fair, because it's always, you don't want to lose it. Like,
Yeah,
know,
exactly.
You've been a lot of good teams on the way. I did say that about the United run.
Yeah.
I was always thinking, it is still the Carabao Cup.
Yes.
Like it's not the Champions League or the World Cup final. This is obviously going to be, and also there was a lot of upsets. Like City got beaten by Southampton.
City got beaten by Southampton.
Chelsea got beaten by Liverpool, I think it was.
Something like that.
Or Arsenal. And then Arsenal.
Everyone got knocked
Someone got knocked out by a Premier League team, and that Premier League team also got upset. And it kind of, let a clean path for.
Yeah. That's how it always is,
United.
though.
But to be fair, Newcastle, when they got there, they were playing really well.
Yeah.
That's how they got to the top 4.
Yeah.
So yeah, and also I think I was thinking this on the way up. We always say this about Leicester. It's like start of the season, if they got Champions League, like wow, I mean that's what an achievement.
Yeah.
When you're never so long,
Yeah.
like the wheels
Bottled it.
they're not come off Newcastle, but they're starting to wobble. You want to have a look at those wheels, I'd say, because they're looking like after the World Cup, they've really.
If you said 7th in the league going in, you'd be like, wow,
Yeah.
that is a real improvement.
But once you've been in there, when 2/3 of the season
Yeah.
through, you're in the top 4. If they were to miss out Leicester style in the last couple of weeks,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
you had
Is this
that.
what this club is now? Is this your thing?
This is your history. Is this
Yeah.
this is the new Newcastle?
Eddie Howe on the chopping block.
Yeah, so they're in danger of that now, where they've gone from if we just improve, be a great year. To you've lost the final, you blew Champions League. No, they haven't yet, but it's.
I did. It's funny because we were talking about how long it's been since Newcastle were in a domestic cup final.
Yeah.
Little did we know Newcastle were also talking about it. Did you see that?
Oh, the
big banner.
67 years. Oh, the screen, is it?
Yeah, they have a screen when you come into wherever they're training, and it says it's been 67 years or whatever since we've won a domestic cup. That's all well and good.
1823, if I remember correctly.
It's all well and good to motivate the players going into the game. Seeing that the day after must be tough. Where it's been like, it's the 67 years and 1 day since we've won a domestic cup.
And he just like puts in on his laptop.
Like Lenny in Simpsons where he falls off the thing, put up the incidents. I would take down that board.
Yeah, I mean, it's goes either way, isn't it?
Yeah.
That kind of motivation. It's like when you put up a tweet or a newspaper article, I guess tweet usually now, this team is shot, you've got no character, and then you lose 4-0, you come back in, you see it on the board, like, he's right. Yeah, you put them up on the board, you have to,
it's a guarantee.
It's like they, apparently in the All for Nothing documentary, I haven't seen it, I've only seen clips. I must watch it. But Arteta did put that tweet from Ivan Toney up on the...
Oh, the kick about with the lads.
Nice kick out. He put it up on the next game. And that's when they all tweet like, yeah, nice kick out with the lads. It was like, well, they really thought about that.
Yeah, they did because they were
game
forced
from the start. But apparently Arteta was putting it up on the board. But again, if they lose that game, and then they drew this year with them.
Yeah.
So like, that's how you get these things in your head. Like, oh fuck, this is a big game. It's like, no, it's not. It's Brentford. It's not a big game. Like this is a really small team. They have much lower budget than you do. I mean, you should be beating this team. But yeah, it's motivation or the worst thing ever.
Yeah, I mean, that will be tough for those players to see, and like some of those players will not be playing the next Newcastle final. So that's going to be their as they like see out this season. They're going to see that every day, and then they get sold.
Yeah, well, that's it. Now, if they were to get the Champions League, you need a huge outlay for the Champions League, of course. So massive money spent. If they don't make Champions League, they're in Europa League, so they need a huge outlay for the Europa League, of course. Yeah. So like whatever happens, there's going to be a massive amount of money spent this year this summer in Newcastle. So.
Anyway, like they need a whole bench pretty much.
And honestly, the only person I would have said who's a definite, before the money, who's going to be like the Vincent Kompany of before the money, would have been Sam Maximan. But not having a good final doesn't help that.
Yeah. He seems to be a bit of trouble as well, isn't he? Doesn't he want to leave?
He was looking for it, but you don't know what's going on. You know what the murmurings are of his new contract.
Yeah.
I know how much you're worth, lads.
Yeah.
Okay, don't give me that shit.
I'm not taking a 10% rise.
I also know how much that bench over Isaac is on too. So don't fucking give me 5% rise. That's some bullshit right there. So you never know. But I think he'd probably go to another club and get paid a lot of money too. So
yeah,
I'd say the next final they're in, you won't see a single player from this final.
I wouldn't think so.
I think put that on the board. I think put that on the board. You'll never see another of those Newcastle players who Trippier will be past this.
Yeah. They'd do well to get to another final next year.
Isaac, I don't know how if that works out, but we'll say from the starting team.
Because it like not that Newcastle are going to be bad, but the chances of another season where Liverpool, Chelsea, Arsenal, and City all fuck it up in the Carabao Cup is very slim. Like.
Well, that's it. If the team doesn't change, I wouldn't say they'll get back to a final. And if they do get back to a final, the team will be much better.
Yeah.
So the team will have changed a lot. So that's how I see it. But no guarantee of anything, I suppose. But yeah, it was all kind of framed as like Newcastle's awakening, but like it's kind of like there's a big test coming up and you have a nice day for it, and then the test gets called off, and everyone gets a C. And you're like, yes, we did it. Or maybe it's an A, basically. It's like that you didn't earn that. This isn't like a comeback story. You fucking lucked out, like
you're billionaires.
And then like say it's Man United and they have spent $1 billion on their squad plus the looming possibility of
infinite money coming
in. So it's like there's zero romance for this to me at all. There's no magic of any cup of this at all. And then like say afterwards, all this kind of celebration of the Carabao Cup. I mean, Carabao away, if you ask me, Will. This shite.
The like build up, like the 10 minutes before the game has like an amazing like promo video. The light show in the stadium and all this going on. And it's like, this feels like a World Cup final. The way they're treating it. And Roy Keane sounded like he was on the verge of tears He was like, those United players are going to go out and they're going to die on that pitch. And I was
Oh,
like,
God, yeah.
you said you wouldn't look at them last year.
I know.
Half of them are the same team, pal.
No, this thing, people just get carried away off the letter, So there's no, we've talked about this too much, I suppose, but like there's no responsibility of being unbiased anymore. It's like, just say what you want, as long as it's funny, Roy. As long as it's clippable. That's all we care about.
It was a mad week for United with the Barca result as well. Things are looking good. The next few years will be good, but it is now an overdrive. Like, whoa, this is really exciting.
Well, that's the other thing, because Man United were like going through like the league and going through knocking out Barcelona. Like, it was like game. Here's another game. Whereas Newcastle, like, this is huge. This is 67 years or 67 years on the board and dressing room. Like, it was all leading towards this. So I was like, much more pressure on them. Whereas now, like, we got to win this game and the next game. We're still fighting for this league, and then the bigger squad. So, I mean, it was always going to be, I think, in United's favour.
Yeah.
Because any nerves might have had like this, the first trophy since the Europa League lads, there was no time to think about that, I wouldn't say. So.
They're playing in the FA Cup on Wednesday.
Yeah.
I saw Luke Shaw talking about it. He was asked, it was like the day after, and they were back in Carrington. He was like, how were the celebrations last night? And he was like, oh, there was none. It was celebrated in the dressing room and then straight back home, ready for today.
Yeah.
So it's just like on to the next thing.
Exactly. That's the thing of being a club like that involved in multiple competitions. Like, I mean, a trophy in March. That's why you have in February, I should say, a trophy in February. That's why you have the bus tour afterwards. You can't celebrate at the time, So it's like, oh, that's a bit much. It's like, when you get celebrated at the time, it's been building for a while.
As positive as it's looking and as exciting as it seems for United, I would be a bit wary of, because they are the last team in the top 5 leagues in the last 4 competitions on that track.
Okay, yeah.
Usually that means the next season is very tough going because your players are fucked. And there was a World Cup this year as well.
Yeah.
I mean, look at Liverpool this year. They're a hospital team.
Yeah, that's it. The injuries do come thinking fast.
Yeah, and United have been very lucky with injuries. I mean, Eriksen's the only one, and that wasn't even a fitness thing. That was because he was chopped down.
Yeah.
So I would see next season a lot of injuries for this squad.
Yeah. But of course, if there's infinite money,
That's true.
that'll help.
That will help.
But yeah, that was the Carabao Cup, I suppose. Chelsea continue to be
shite.
Bad to watch. They don't score goals. They can't keep them out. They don't win games.
All of the new signings are playing poorly. Every one of them.
From Sterling to Mudryk, there's not one person who's like, he's had an alright season.
Sterling, it feels like, has been there for years now. That seems like so long ago.
It's just been so many players come in. I mean, I saw that Kante came back and they had like a list of all the players signed. There's like
him.
New manager. Like, he was out for a while, I suppose, but still, it's like rarely you come back to like a completely changed face of the club. Like, but
I saw, like we were saying about Mudryk's not performing.
Yeah,
everyone's not performing. I saw a stat today, which is one of the most specific stats I've ever seen. I felt like someone had it out for Chelsea. It was Enzo Fernandez has played the most misplaced passes per game since he joined Chelsea in Europe.
Who's keeping track of this?
That's what I was thinking.
Like, I know there's the data farms. I know who's actually inputting the data, but who's correlating this data?
Who's going, I wonder, actually, how does that relate to the rest of Europe?
Let me just look at this drop down menu. Passes put astray,
Enhance, pull that up.
Let me compare that with the top 5 leagues. That is amazing levels of spice towards Chelsea. And maybe Enter Hernandez or whatever, but maybe who's this that he came from, Benfica?
Oh, yeah.
Maybe Benfica fan. I don't know.
Yeah, that's true.
But no, on paper, it's okay. I mean, you have Enzo Fernandez and
Loftus-Cheek
and Enzo Fernandez, and then you have João Felix playing as a number 10. Like, on paper, not too bad, but I think they do kind of lack a lot in the middle there when you have just the 2.
Yeah.
We've seen lots of teams. You have 2 versus 3 in the middle. It's always tough to compete, even if it's against Oliver Skip. Did you see his goal?
I did. I saw him. I saw the goal, and I also saw just before the goal where he barreled João Felix off the ball.
Yeah,
like a real difference of types of football being played.
It was a mad kind of a thing because there was a shot from I think Emerson Royale, and it was saved by Kepa, and then before he could go grab it, Thiago Silva took it off his hands and just lashed it back out to nobody. And then Oliver Skip said, "I'll fucking get in the way of that," and lashed home his first ever goal for Tottenham.
Yeah.
I'm just like, it's an element of like, that's just bad luck. And also, but that was shite. Like,
that
was, like,
shouldn't be happening.
What's happening there? Like, just no communication between the goalie and the centre back. They're really bad to watch. They play really badly. Like I've said before, but like, it's just, there's no saving grace here for Graham Potter.
And it doesn't look like he's going to turn it around anytime soon.
No, I can't see
there's
it.
so many players coming in, and like I'm sure the summer's going to be the same. How do you get a chance to turn it around? You don't get to like bond with the team at all.
No.
As soon as you're like, all right, I have my 11. Oh, there's another player for 200 million after coming in that I had nothing to do with.
Yeah. And everyone points to the 600 million spent and no striker, no real striker come in. They're playing Havertz up front, and then let's say Outfield's behind them, but it's like kind of two number 10s, number false nines. It's hard, it's hard to know what the exact position is. Would Wout Weghorst do a job for them? I don't know, but they aren't scoring any goals with their current system.
Yeah.
Now I said a couple weeks ago, once they get Chilwell and Reece James back, all great.
They'll be back.
They're just back. It hasn't changed immediately. Maybe that's what Big Todd is waiting for. For my prediction to come through. He's going to give one more game for the two wing backs to
let
show
it play out.
Let's see how this goes. But I mean, that's the other side of it too. It's like you sack Power now. Who comes in? You better just let it play out and say, okay, right, let's get the summer and then maybe someone else come along.
I mean, the best manager out there who'd be perfect for the job is Thomas Tuchel.
Yeah.
That was such an odd move.
It was just that 100 days corporate America shite, which fine, like I'm sure it works in different fields, but like there's a set time we can buy players.
Yeah.
200 million worth of players, then sack them. And then a new guy comes in and goes, well, I wouldn't buy any of these players.
Yeah.
It's just, it makes no sense. And that's part of the reason why they're in this. It's also something that people point to go, well, look, it's not Potter's fault that he spent all that money and sure none of it was his. But the person who decides is Todd Bowley, and it's his money.
Yeah.
He's not saying, well, look, I spent all the money and not his fault. It's like, I gave him all these £600 million players.
You have an all-star team.
Yeah. And
do something.
And what's the update on that all-star game, Todd? We want to know. Yeah, no, it's because they never lose Tottenham. They never, like, that's one of the stats that the first time they lost in the new stadium. So, like, the first time Tottenham beat Chelsea at home. That's how bad the record is. So, like, and it wasn't like close. It wasn't like a 1-1, then 2-1 in the end. Harry Kane stunner. It was like Harry Kane did score, but it wasn't like
they breezed by.
Yeah, it wasn't a good Tottenham performance either. Like, it was just a really bad Chelsea performance, and they got beaten by a team they never lose to.
Yeah, and it doesn't feel like this is as bad as it's going to get either.
No,
it definitely feels like it's going to get worse.
Doesn't feel like rock bottom.
It feels like Potter will go when it's like, okay, this is insane. Do you know what I mean?
They never go because the payout.
Yeah, that's true.
Because like, how many friends that recently enough is that if you get sacked, right? They keep paying your contract or whatever. It's because if they don't, then they can take up an unfair dismissal charge. Unfair dismissal case against you. Because like, well, it's hard to define like what you're meant to do because there's so many variables in it.
Yeah.
So you can't say, well, my employment to win. It's like, that wasn't in the contract.
Yeah, never said that.
No, you can't say, I needed a certain amount of games you have to win. Like if and the big managers like that, they would never sign something with those kind of like qualifiers, like you have to win a certain amount of games.
Yeah.
I remember the only one I can think of is when he won the Champions League for Chelsea, Di Matteo.
Yeah.
And he got sacked and he was getting the payoff. But in his contract, it was like, we'll pay out until you take a new job, then we'll stop.
Smart.
He didn't work again for 2 years.
Yeah.
He got every cent of that. It's like, I'm never getting a job as good as this again. But like most of them wouldn't say, fuck you, you want me or don't. And then they just give a normal contract. And then if you don't pay them out, then it's like, well, you have to pay me out. You can't not pay me. So same with Brendan Rodgers. That's why they haven't sacked him yet.
Yeah, but definitely.
How are they doing actually? Are they doing mid-table? It's hard to know. You feel like they're doing all right, but
well, they just got hammered by United last I saw them. I don't know how they got on this weekend.
This weekend, I think they lost to West Ham, maybe.
Did they lose 4-0 to West Ham?
Was that them? Oh, they lost one at Arsenal.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, lost one at Arsenal. Arsenal maintain.
Again, that was something that went under the radar, but that's a huge win.
Oh, every win for now is a huge win. That's the thing. Because everyone's like, well, City are going to win every game, aren't they?
Yeah, it's happening.
That's going to happen. They won 4-1 against Bournemouth.
They had a very old school City win.
A good place to do it, Bournemouth. It was a bit of a cakewalk, you might say. Haaland on the score sheet, 27 goals. Surpasses Aguero was the all-time City goal scorer in a season.
Mad. Considering it's February.
Considering it's February, yeah. I mean, what? Let's do a Lukaku on this. How many more goals do you think he's going to score, Will?
Ooh.
I haven't looked at the fixtures. This is just totally off the dome.
How many games do they have left? They have 13 games left. I think he's scored under 20.
We'll say league. We'll say league goals.
Yeah, I think he can score 20.
20 more goals.
I think he could.
But will he, though? Because, I mean, you know...
He definitely has 2 more hat-tricks.
Well, see, this thing, it tends to veer wildly, where he'll score and he'll be the main focal point. And then we saw this week in the Champions League, it was, again, 1-1.
Yeah.
And he cut a very frustrated figure up there, like, kick me the ball, pass the ball, I can score against these guys.
Yeah.
I think he's like 6-4 against Leipzig when he's playing for Dortmund.
Fucking hell.
And he was like, nah, I think we're going to give it to Gundogan.
Yeah. We want to do the tap-in thing.
Trouble City as well.
Yeah.
And try and walk it in and they'll pass to Haaland. That's what people are saying. You know, so like if it was to play like, okay, let's just go Haaland ball. Let's just try and win every game. I think, yeah, he could score 13 goals in 13 games. But I don't think they will. I think he might score 2 in one game and then 2 more games he won't score at all. I think before the end of the season he'll say something he shouldn't.
Oh, you think?
I think I feel this is the way it's going to go.
I don't know. I think he seems pretty chill though.
Well, this is it. It's all going well now because, like, okay, we're in the league. It's only Arsenal. We're going to catch them. We've caught them before. We can do it again. The Champions League is like, all right, yeah,
we should be, but you know,
we'll progress to the next round. It's all on the balance now.
Yeah.
But if it tips to like, oh, okay, Arsenal now 9 points ahead,
yeah,
and we're down 5-0 against Real Madrid in the first leg,
yeah,
and they're not passing me the fucking ball, and someone asks him, how do you feel that, Eric? Or not Eric, Erling?
Yeah.
That'd be good, actually. Went, how do you feel that with Eric? Went, oh, fuck this.
Yeah, I've had enough of this.
They forgot my name. That's how announced I am. And then snap. He says, you know what? If we played a certain way, I think we might win.
Yeah.
It would have to snap in a way that he actually says something bad.
He just
says something that...
Say anything.
Say anything against Pep. And Pep be under pressure too. And he'll like, oh, fuck this guy.
I knew he was trouble.
Yeah. So that's how I would see it going. In another universe, I think he romps home,
Yeah.
you know, with 20 goals, but I just don't see it, you know?
So weird that a player who scores so many goals, but he's kind of under the radar now. Like, remember at the start of the season, every game was like, oh my God, this guy's amazing.
Yeah.
Now it's like either expected or when he doesn't do it, it's so disappointing. So it's so mad to see this just become a norm.
Any other player who's gone this kind of run, like when it was Salah, when it was Kane, when it was Son, when it was Rashford, that's probably going back far for people, but not Rashford, sorry, not Percy.
Yeah.
Rashford this year, even Rashford this year even is a better example. Like, wow, he's on a tear.
Yeah, this won't last.
There was a bit of that at the start with Haaland. Like, he's going to break, if he continues this race after 3 games,
He's going to score 60 goals.
he's going to score 700 goals in 600 games less than Ronaldo.
Look at this graph. It all adds up.
What do you mean return to the median? That's not a thing. So yeah, I think it's kind of cool the bit, and he's still like just chipping away at that record. But the kind of hysteria at the start was never going to, you know, keep up. But you just have the expectation so high. It's like, is he the problem?
Yeah. Are the 40 goals enough?
Yeah. So we'll see how much he scores. But I'd say probably, if I had to guess, he's on 27 now.
I think he'd end on a nice round 40.
Is the record 31?
It's 30 something, 34. I'll look it up. 34 maybe?
I think 34 is one with 40 games. And then when they lessen the team, that's Shearer and Cole will have that one. And then in the 38 game season, I think it's Suarez and
32 goals by Mo Salah.
Mo Salah.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's what? 5 goals off that in 13 games?
Yes.
He's definitely breaking that.
Yeah.
The question is by how much?
Yeah.
I'd say he'll get to the 32. He'll get to 33.
Yeah.
And that'll be mentally like,
and you'd be like, whew, take my foot off the gas.
Now I've broken it. I mean, now it's kind of weird to go any further, you know.
It's rude.
He'll be at that for a while. I think he'll finish on 35.
Yeah.
Which is
insane.
7 more games, 7 goals, 13 games. A goal every game for Haaland. That's not that much.
No, yeah, I would say that's a low estimation.
That's conservative for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to put that on the board. 35 goals for Haaland.
I think 40.
You're at 40.
Yeah,
He's got to just
40.
burst by it,
I
not
think he's
back.
going to burst by. Because I could easily see him breaking the record, not scoring for a game or two, and then scoring a hat-trick against like Southampton or something.
Yeah.
You know
Towards
what I
the
mean?
end when they're already
it's like bang, bang. When they're on the beach, Haaland is not going on the beach.
No. Well, this is the thing. I mean, there could be a case and this is really, I'm getting ahead of myself now, but like, it could be a case where Haaland scores 40 goals and comes second in the league.
Yeah.
That is entirely possible.
That was a prediction you made at the start of the season.
That was a joke I said earlier on, but now it's becoming real. I'm getting scared. But yeah, like I would imagine he'll break the record. There's a good chance he could come second in the league and it'll mean nothing. Not a single goal he ever scored this year meant anything. That's what they'll say about him. Yeah, I can see it now. 34 goals didn't mean anything.
Didn't mean a thing.
Didn't mean a fucking thing, man.
No, honestly, that is nonsense. Nonsense. All nonsense.
They say many garbage things.
You don't know what you're going to get.
Melodrama upon melodrama. This is a total, utter, shameful, disgraceful piece of nonsense.
He was miles off it yesterday.
You'll learn a lot more if you listen rather than talk all the
Plenty of
time.
time, no problem.